In the top left corner of Nightshade as the purple Protoss, it's Trap. And in the bottom right as the red French Protoss, it's DNS. I think he's French. My god, if I misspoke there. Yeah, so I mean, Trap is definitely a favorite today to move on to the round of 4. His problem recently has been, you know, consistency. He's always finishing pretty high, but he really wants to take home those championships, you know? I do think he outclasses DNS quite a bit here in Protoss vs. Protoss. But we'll have to wait and see. DNS and Trap both going for Stalker pushes. But don't do it, DNS! Trap has the high ground. Trap just steamrolling over the Stalkers of DNS right now. DNS able to snipe 5 probes, which isn't bad trade for 2 adepts at all. Like, even a little bit. It's gonna put DNS had 7 workers for a little bit. The gap's closing, but Trap kind of forced to move out here. There's a healthy amount of sentry energy for DNS, but of course Trap has the Warp Prism, which is going to grant him a large amount of utility with his units on the ground. DNS scouts the move out. An Immortal and a shield battery here as well. Trap has to elevator into the main. There's no way he engages this ground army. Well, he will try. It's going to be a Glaives play from DNS, while Trap continues to rely on robotics facility production and moves into Archons with the Templar Archives. This is some incredible Immortal Micro from DNS, picking off a large chunk of Trap's army. Here comes the main push. He definitely committed to Glaives here. And I think this is going to be it for Trap. There's nothing left to defend. Oh, the High Templar auto attacks. It's adorable. Chi-Chi, DNS takes. In the bottom left of Eternal Empire, as the purple toss, it's Trap. And in the top right, as the red toss, it's DNS. DNS, the first point on the board. Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum, bum-bum-bum-bum-bum. Yeah, so DNS winning the last game with the huge wave of Glaive Adepts. Trap just wasn't prepared in any metric. Trap tried a 2-base attack on DNS with Stalker, Sentry, and 1 Immortal, which DNS fended off quite easily. I mean, it really wasn't close. Trap had avenues to poke in at DNS. He could have elevated into the main. He could have just harassed, like, taken pot shots at the forward units in DNS's army and force out force fields, but he instead chose to continue pressing into 2 Immortals and a shield battery in the natural of DNS, and then eventually getting run down, which put him behind for the rest of the game. Oh no. Stalker Sentry coming out for Trap. Couple Immortals as well. Trap continuing to shade forward. Those two adepts did absolutely nothing for the purple toss, and DNS once again is going to take the lead by a little bit. Maybe Trap is just having an off day. Phoenix coming out for DNS as well. Scouts swarming all over the map. He seems a little bit worried about two-base attack from Trap, but if that were the case, why go Phoenix? Phoenix leave you super vulnerable to ground assault, especially with the Stalker Sentry heavy composition that Trap has on the field right now. Here comes the Phoenix. It will get scouted by the Observer. Trap already responding with his Stalkers to the front. DNS upping his production. Both players going for charge. It should hit around the same time. Trap can have an earlier +1, and again he's going into a Templar Archives to try and get out those Archons, which is what he wants to use to deal with these Phoenix. DNS is going on the attack, but he can't engage through the stalkers. +1 has hit the field for Trap. It's soon to hit the field for DNS. There it is. DNS getting his own Archons out. A ton of feedback on the Phoenix, but it's not going to deal any lasting damage. Well, I mean, I guess there's only 2 Phoenix with lists now, so that's good. DNS is like, uh-oh, here comes the major ground move out from Trap. There is a pretty immortal charge lot heavy proposition to defend for DNS. Army supplies are pretty even. Here comes the engagement. Trap was on a move command to start out, which let DNS's charge lots get off the first volley, but it's not going to be enough. DNS on the retreat does have defend. Well, the Warp Prism takes away Defender's advantage, so it looks like Trap is going to break through. Only 1 Phoenix left in the air. The Archon's melting out front. Trap disengages. Yeah, I guess there's Yeah, with the shield batteries behind, 3 Immortals is way too much to break through. Oh no. Trap blocked his own geyser, the Archon. DNS loading up a Warp Prism with 4 Zealots, going for an attack to the left, while Trap splits all over the place, just takes map control. The Warp Prism gets picked off. I mean, that's not a devastating loss for DNS, but definitely hurts a little bit. DNS with +2 on the field, and still several Immortals in the mix. With the army supply so even, I don't know that Trap can push into this. I think he's going to throw if he commits to this fight. Okay, here goes the engagement. Some of the unit, an Archon in the back not firing, which kind of sucks. The charge lots of DNS have broken through. There's still Immortals in the back, and with that, Trap's army should crumble. Has this aged poorly? Okay, DNS can back up to the shield batteries. This is wave 2 of the defense. A cannon out front going to help out as well. And now Disruptors on the field for the Red Protoss. Getting these morphing Archons would be huge. Okay, he does pick off 1 Archon, knocks the shields off a second. Trap's going to try and attack into the main with 2 Archons. GG. Trap. Even... Oh no. Oh no. Not like this. In the bottom left, as the purple Protoss, it's Trap. And in the top right, as the red Protoss, it's DNS. Alright, standard Protoss openers for this matchup from both sides. We're going to wait and see what the first two gateway units are. Up, DNS has dropped a proxy pylon behind the vision blockers. It looks like Trap is going to scout this out. Double stalker openers on both sides. Right as the gateway goes down. Okay, we have a game on our hands. One of these players going to be moving on to the next round after this game, while the other goes down in flames. Stargate opener from DNS. Trap isn't okay, he's gonna send out the two stalkers to clean up this probe. Or, to clean up the proxy. In the meantime, DNS is responding as well. DNS cancels the proxy gate. Interesting. He waited so long to cancel it, too. Trap. Going to pump out a warp prism. DNS going into Oracle this time. It's probably going to wait till he can get out. Two. Back, there's the second Oracle being chrono boosted out now. In the meantime, Trap continuing to stick to Robotech. Most likely going to once again go into Templar Archives, given his opponent's choice of Stargate. Phoenix follow-up here from DNS. He is indeed going to wait for two Oracles before going in. And there's no units in the mineral line. DNS goes now. This could be huge. An astounding 11, 12 probes go down to two Oracles. And DNS still has both the Oracles. Trap only has two probe kills on the other side of the map. As long as DNS can hold this aggression, He's pretty much won the game. Okay, DNS is going to let the Shade complete, and he's going to try to gun down the sentries so they can't keep force fielding out the ramp, but Trap is able to save them with the Warp Prism. This is essentially all in here for Trap. He needs to, at the very least, kill this second Nexus of DNS. The Phoenix tries to shut down the Warp Prism, but it's just endless sentries here from Trap and endless force fields on the ramp. DNS is getting out his own Warp Prism, but it's not in time to save the second base. DNS also going to be supply blocked. However, DNS's production is fine. Trap is severely hurt in his supply chain. Only 12 workers on minerals, 4 on gas for a purple toss. 2 sentries get picked off. Okay, just 1 sentry. One of them's really low health, though. And here come the Oracles once again with their fully regenerated energy. Another 2 probes go down. Which might not sound like a big deal, but that's 10% of Trap's remaining economy. Gone. Lasered. Evaporated. Now what DNS is doing here is really smart. So you can actually oversaturate up to 24 workers before the efficiency really drops off a cliff. And that's exactly what he did during the duration of that siege. And Trap is pinned down. He has to respect these Oracles. 8 kills on one, 9 kills on the other. Now, Trap is going to be double pumping workers, so he's going to replenish and supply. But remember, DNS has been on a bigger economy for longer, so he's going to have a higher tech army as well as a higher supply army. Trap is still threatening with a 4-sentry drop. DNS sends out the Warp Prism, though, with 2 Immortals, and he's going to use that to cover his Oracle's retreat. He will get out with all of his units. DNS playing absolutely out of his mind today. Finally, a recall on the Prism, going to save those 4 sentries. They have quite a bit of energy stacked up on them as well. Resonating Glaives on the way for Trap. DNS going into charge in +1. So it does appear that we are going to be entering, the mid-game. Both players should be looking to take a third here soon, but DNS definitely ahead as the players make this transition. Actually, I don't know if Trap will take a third base. He might just go for a Glaives all-in. Oh no, this move out hugely crippled with that Stasis Ward going off. It just has no bite to it anymore. These units are going to arrive so late now. Yeah, Trap knows it. He's going to pull back to respond to the Oracles. One of the Oracles finally goes down, but hey, it definitely paid for itself. Glaives are 8 seconds away. Wait. Trap went home. He didn't go for it. DNS is going to take a third unopposed, and he will be our first player with +1 on the field. +1, not even in sight for Trap yet. Trap is going into Disruptors. I really like this decision. It's going to make it more of a coin flip scenario, right? 2 Disruptor shots can turn an engagement around even if you're behind. Another probe goes down. That was a decent shot on the Immortals, but DNS has a concave here, and I don't know if Trap can hang on. Army supplies were kind of evenish. However, DNS has +1, so that means he's going to take the better of these trades. And these Archons are going to quickly regain their shields. Three Disruptors with this army means Trap can keep firing shots in the retreat, but he doesn't. He gets it lifted, and that's going to be GG. DNS takes down Trap.